今ウヌラの眼前に降臨したのは無数の時空の力、無数の混沌の意志を集める究極の姿。よこそが真の混沌。
Good day guys, coming here, welcome back to Langrisser M, news from the future. So right, the long awaited 5th year, yes, we have come thus far. It is the 5th anniversary of Langrisser M, and judging by the sales record, which I may one day share with you guys, I guess we are at least, well, we can say we are good to go for at least another one more year, so do not quit. So right, this is the 5th year anniversary, and as the usual pattern, we welcome our new anniversary single banner limited edition hero. It is none other than Apotheosis, or you can call him as Chaos Ham or God Ham in the CN server, because, well, based on the name itself pronounced in Chinese pronunciation, we call Masu, and Wet Ham we call him Morma, which means demonic Matthew. Then apparently this final form is emerging with Chaos, whom is actually both the god of all the demon race, at least in this Langrisser universe, so they nickname him as Senma. This is how they differentiate, and yep, that means they call him God Ham, but we can just call him Chaos Ham in this. And of course, in this part of the video, we'll be only sharing the hero's faction, talent, effect, exclusive skills, and 3C effect, and we'll only be going through all the skills or showcasing you everything during the demo play. And yep, and watch till the end for the translations that I've typed and done for you guys. So alright, are you guys ready? Let's get started. So behold the darkness, embrace the chaos, and face the end of your destiny, for thou shall all kneel before chaos. And yep, this is something similar, the speech that is given to our leading heroes. This is aka Chaos Ham, or you may refer him as Chaos himself. So a quick summary for you guys. So of course, at the end of the day, they are still considered two different entities, but after you play through his Gate of Fate, it is shown or said to be that he is still considered to be Chaos, because him and Chaos had become one from, or one that is born from, the original source, or the primordial source, which is known as Chaos. So even for his talent, as you can see, the icon is, well, the picture of Chaos itself. However, in case you guys are wondering, just to share with you guys, or you may not actually know about it, in the Gate of Fate itself, apparently you can get to see the talent of Chaos, or the version 2 talent of Chaos itself, on the version 1 talent of Chaos during the first year event, the Solo King Elwin, his event where we will be fighting the last boss, which is Chaos himself. His talent is giving 2 debuff each time you deal damage to an enemy, which cannot be dispelled, blah blah blah. This time around they are adding on, they they just change everything. Chaos talent is being changed into something that just purely increase AoE damage enemies taken by 25%, and of course at the same time they will gain some debuff which cannot be dispelled. I'll look through again and maybe I'll do a short posting about it. It's pretty cool and nice that apparently, despite we are not able to use Chaos or Luceries, they kind of did an update for the characters that kind of will match up with the meta if they really came up. So right, enough talk about Chaos, or he who should not be mentioned. Okay, just kidding. Alright, so for Chaos M, his factions first off are from, well, you can guess it, Darkness, followed by Yellows, and last but not least, Mythical Realm. And of course, his talent got to sound something cool. It is known as Source of Chaos, Origin of Chaos, or Primordial of Chaos. So you can choose or take your pick, whichever sounds cooler. I'm not sure how it's gonna be like when it's being released in the global version. So right, the effect is follow, and it's definitely slightly new, it's slightly unique. Whether it's good or bad, you guys get to decide. However, later on I'll share with you guys if it's really good or bad in the current meta. So right, the effect is follow. Unit ignore class advantage. So this is pretty cool, like Zareta 2.0 that's being released last year, and increased attack by 30%. So all these are rank 6. Then when you end your turn, you get to heal 20% of your unit HP and add 10% of your attack to one of your stat randomly, excluding HP, and this effect cannot be dispelled. So meaning if your attack is 1000, it will take 10%, which is 100 of it, and add it to either your attack, your defense, your magic defense, or your skill, and this effect cannot be dispelled, and you cannot choose because it is target randomly. Then after actively dealing damage to enemies, there is a 100% chance of dealing either of the following debuff to the damaged enemies. Okay, you get to have this random effect. The first, there's two effects, so either of the one will trigger. So the first one is known as Nightmare or Darkmare. It's kind of like they took this like an upgrade from Bozo's Sleep, a Nightmare skill. So it has both PvP or PvE effect. When being used in PvP match, the effect is it will cause the unit to lose control for 1 turn. PvE effect, your damage deal to the enemy, the damage deal from the enemy will be decreased by 30%. Okay, the next effect is known as Demon's Pick or Magic Selections. Though personally, knowing he's from Chaos, Demon Picks sounds like a bad option. So the effect is follow. Hero's class will be changed to Demon class for 1 turn. So do know that for this effect to trigger, you have to actively deal damage to enemies. So it has to be from your turn when you cast damage skills. It will not trigger if enemies close combat and attack you and you return damage. This do not work this way. So alright, let's repeat again. Number 1, unit ignore class advantages or disadvantages. Number 2, increase attack by 30%. Number 3, when you end turn, you will have the following effect triggered. So the first, it will heal 20% of your unit HP, and second is add 10% of your attack to one of your stats randomly excluding HP, and it cannot be dispelled. Number 4, after actively dealing damage to enemies, there is a 100% chance of dealing either of the following debuff effect to damage enemies. The first being Nightmare or Darkmare. When in PvP, it will cause the enemy units to lose control for 1 turn. PvP effect, the enemy units damage deal will be decreased by 30%. So again, it's for 1 turn. The second effect is known as Demon Picks or Magic Selection. The hero's class will be changed to Demon class for 1 turn. So some might be wondering, the effect may sound good and weird. It may not, but the other one is to help efficiently trigger or have synergy with his skills. So the one that is to help with synergy with the skills is Demon's Pick, to cause enemy's hero class to be changed to Demon class for 1 turn, which we'll find out later on after we introduce the exclusive skills and 3C. However, for Nightmare or Darkmare, the PvP effect, to let you guys have a better understanding of what it means lose control of the unit for 1 turn, it is not as good as it sounds, because apparently it is not what I had in mind initially, like kind of like Diha's SP Dihato effect. Once you damage enemy, you gotta cause them to be stunned or they're not able to do anything. To lose control of a unit for 1 turn is just basically that particular unit is just going to auto mode. So instead of your tank trying to stand by on that area to cast his guard skills, it might move forward and attack the enemy if it had no skills, or when there is movement or place for it to move to. So you just lose control of the characters and it will just run well by itself. And it has been tested most of the time that your allies will not retreat and go back into the fire pit to kill themselves in PvP match. They will try to advance forward whenever there is space. So some may propose the question that isn't it good that the enemy will lose control and not able to do things? Yes and no. If we are not sure of how to handle such kind of auto situations, after a few practice you will know what to do. So for example, if the tank unit is the one that is being affected, you will know that if you do not have any skills left to cast, your tank will advance forward and try to attack the enemy. However, if there is guard skills that has not yet been activated, there's high chance that your tank unit will stand on stationary blocks and just cast the guard effect. So after some trial and error, you will slowly find a way to counter this issue to better organize your team. But again, I gotta say, this takes a lot of practice. And that's it for his talent. However, the main advantages is that he no class advantages or disadvantages, and he's a self-walking huge faction buff because increase his own attack by 30%. Why not? This is pretty cool. Alright, then moving on to exclusive skills 1. So yeah, apparently he is considered of both demon class and flying units, which is the same as Wet Ham. So alright, exclusive skills 1, Dark Abyssal Erosion. So it's a command aura effect. It's a 1C skills. The CD, range, and AoE type are all null. As you can see, it's dash. The effect is a command aura. The effect are as follow. Enemies who are 3 blocks around you have 30% chance to gain Demon's Pick. So again, Demon's Pick effect, the hero class will be changed to Demon class for 1 turn. I guess this skills is to give synergy between Chaos Ham and your holy units, because if you change the enemies to Demon class, your holy units will deal extra damage against the enemy if this will take into effect after just changing the class, unless the class change is kind of like fake. It don't do it does not affect anything, then I guess it's not that useful. So alright, that's it for exclusive skill 1. Enemies who are 3 blocks around you will have 30% chance to gain Demon's Pick. And moving to his exclusive skill 2, which is this AoE, is an AoE skill. It's known as Dark Destruction Shock, or you can call it Darkening Shock, well, whichever rhymes better with in your tongue. So right, it's a 2C skills. It has CD of 3. The range is self. The AoE is physical 2 blocks. It's a very short AoE range skills. The effects are as follow. Deal 0.4 times AoE damage to enemies 2 blocks around you. Deal extra 20% damage to holy and demon class units, and reduce damage enemies defense by 20% for 2 turns. Okay, sorry, reduce damage enemies defense by 20% for 2 turns. So alright, let me repeat again. Deal 0.4 times AoE damage to enemies 2 blocks around you. Number 2, deal extra 20% damage to holy and demon class units. Number 3, reduce damage enemies defense by 20% for 2 turns. So yep, he's a main physical attacker and supporter, I guess. And his AoE damage is kind of high, 0.4 times. And not to mention, it will do an extra 20% to holy and demon class units. So yep, you guys who are playing the holy meta, you gotta be prepared. You might need to change, or maybe not, which I will explain towards the end of the video. And now coming to his 3C, which is a transformation skills, meaning you have 2 3C effect. Alright, the 3C, the first skills is known as Manifestation of the End. It has a CD of 3, the range is self, the AoE is self transformation act against skills. The effects are as follow. After using these skills, transform into chaos state. The effect will be number 1, debuff from your talent cannot be dispelled. Number 2, when you enter battle, increase damage deal by 20%. Number 3, when you enter battle, decrease damage taken by 20%. Number 4, when you cast Dark Destruction Shock, which is an exclusive skill 2, apply Darkmare debuff effect to all demon class enemies on the field. So yep, apparently the demon class change is giving a synergy with his 3C, which in return give back synergy to his talent. The Darkmare or Nightmare effect is the one that will cause enemies to lose control of the unit for 1 turn, and if it's from 3C by transforming enemies into demon class and when you damage them with your 2C skills, they will gain the lose control effect. Number 5, when you receive a death blow, you will not die but will consume chaos state and be revived with 30% HP. So this is an infinity loop combo. In case you guys are wondering, yep, this is a free revival, which there is no restrictions except for the CD of the skills. As long as you hit that CD, you can transform into chaos states, and when you die, you resurrect with 30% of HP. Then number 6, after using these skills, it will be changed to Judgment of Abyssal. Number 7, after using these skills, you can move 3 blocks and attack again. Note that chaos state effect cannot be immune nor dispel, and buff you have will not be reduced when using this skill. So alright, before we move on to the second skills, let's repeat again for the first skill. So after using these skills, you'll first transform into chaos state, where your mini characters will blink like a glow light stick. So the effect are as follows. Number 1, debuff from your talent cannot be dispelled. Number 2, when you enter battle, increase damage deal by 20%. Number 3, when you enter battle, decrease damage taken by 20%. Number 4, when you cast Dark Destruction Shot, apply Nightmare or Darkmare debuff effect to all demon class enemies on the field. Number 5, when you receive a death blow, you will not die, but instead will consume the chaos state you're currently in and be revived with 30% HP. Number 6, after using these skills, it will be changed to Judgment of Abyssal. Number 7, after using these skills, you can move 3 blocks and attack again. Note that chaos state effect cannot be immune nor dispel, and buff you have will not be reduced when using these skills. So next we have Judgment of Abyssal. So okay, and it has a CD of 3 turns. The effect as follows. Okay, it has a CD of 3, the range 1, the AoE type is physical single target skills. It has both passive and active skills, so we'll go through the passive first. Passive effect, increase heroes attack by 15% when battling against holy and demon class units. Number 2, increase Dark Abyssal Erosion Command Aura effect chance to 60%. So Dark Abyssal Erosion is his exclusive skills one. The Command Aura effect, initially the chance is 30%. It is now increased to 60%. I would say not so good as long as it's not 100%. Let's be frank. Anything that's below 100% in Langrisser, it's always hard to trigger. So let's repeat again. Number 1, increase heroes attack by 15% when battling against holy and demon class units. Number 2, increase Dark Abyssal Erosion Command Aura effect chances to 60%. Active skills, attack and deal 1.6 times damage to target enemy. And before battle, the following effect will trigger. Convert 3 buff of the target to 3 debuff instead. Second, cause all healing done to the target to become 50% healing reversal damage for 2 turns instead, and this effect cannot be dispelled. Number 3, if you manage to destroy the target, reduce the CD of the skills by 2 and randomly pick an enemy on the field and apply both debuff of Nightmare and Demon Pigs, which is from the talent, to that one enemy, and you don't get to choose, as a random target. Number 4, if chaos state is being consumed, change these skills to manifestation of the end again. So meaning after you cast chaos state, you transform, you come to these skills. However, during the time where you have not cast these active skills yet, and if you are being killed and your chaos state is being consumed, these skills will transform back to the transformation skill again. So this is trying to shorten the CD time of that skills. So okay, that's it. Let's repeat again. Number 1, attack and deal 1.6 times damage to target enemy. Number 2, before battle, the following effect will happen. The first effect, convert 3 buff of target to 3 debuff instead. Second, cause all healing done to the target to become 50% healing reversal damage for 2 turns instead, and this effect cannot be dispelled. Number 3, if you manage to destroy the target, the following effect will trigger. The first, reduce the CD of the skills by 2. Second, randomly pick an enemy on the field and apply both debuff, Darkmare and Demon's Pick to the target. Number 4, if chaos state is being consumed, change the skills to manifestation of the end. So alright, we're almost coming to the end, and that's it for his 3C skills. And overall, on text and paper alone, his talent and skills sounds OP, overly power, very cool. But sadly, I gotta say, apparently during the recent matches played by the pros in the CN server, the harsh reality slaps hard. So a lot of time, the effect to cause enemies to lose control is at most only applicable to characters like Zeritas 2.0 because you'll be choosing demon class, and the rest is, well, not so demon class. It's not easy to 100% trigger, and he's basically like, the effects are like Evil God Kruger. So when you cast the 3C of Evil God Kruger, apparently it can be negate or protect against from characters like Roseanne Seals. So if Roseanne Seals has already cast the crystal protections on the allies, none of your effect will happen or triggers. The effect can only not be dispelled upon success. It cannot be dispelled only if you successfully triggers and cast upon the enemy without any protection beforehand. Then afterwards, if you try to heal or dispel, then it won't work. So still kudos and OPs to Rose and Seals, still hogging on to the tier 0 healer plays. So yep. Then second is his 3C and his talent. So the great thing is that he has no class advantages or disadvantages, and however, some of the downside is that comparing him to Zeritas and the 4th year anniversary Awakener, so things you might notice, he do not have faction buff. I think fans were apparently waiting that he will be getting or giving or providing the Darkness 3C faction buff as 5th year anniversary characters, especially this towards the end of the arc of the story, and of this arc of the story, and not to mention the manifestation of Chaos himself. So we were like expecting more, no, so none of this happened, and unlike Zeritas 2.0, he do not have attack priority. His dispel is kind of low. It's 3 buff instead of the usual 5 buff, though the 3 buff will be converted to 3 debuff instead. However, again, if you are fighting against enemies that has protections from Roseanne Seals crystal protections, that's not helping much. or if the enemies have buff that says cannot be dispelled, it's like GG no re, it don't help a lot. Then apparently after some damage tests on PvP, he don't seem that strong. If you guys remember when Wet Ham or Awakener first came out on your version, on your meta, during the month or that season they are being released, how strong they are. A 4-star Wet Ham is able to either kill off or almost finish off a 6-star hero like Langrisser, or maybe even not Hilda, but characters like Langrisser during that time, which is a very strong hero because of his buff removal and self-sustaining mini faction buff. Then we have Awakener at rank 4 or rank 5. She's able to hold on her own to kill off enemies with either AoE or single target spells because of her skills, effect, talent, her faction buff contributions, and also on her bond attributions. However, the pros in the CN server has tried and playing many times using Chaos Ham. So far the results we've seen is a 5-star Chaos Ham with high casting level. It's only at most able to take out 50% to estimate no more than 70% of the tier 0 or tier 1 tanker units like Elma 2.0. It's kind of weird given that he has a self inbuilt of faction buff for himself, and he can be strengthened by his teammates, so it's kind of weird. Overall, this is like what we speculate for the first month, and this is why I decide to always take a little bit more time to speculate before I post on my video, so I can share with you guys more details. So apparently he's not as good as he seemed, or what Team Zilong wish him to be. So another downside is his loss control effect. More, or if not most of the time, it has been spot or noticed that more of the time changing the enemy units to demon class trigger much more than causing enemy to lose control. And not to mention, causing enemy to lose control is not to do anything, but they can still move and come and attack you. Especially the craziest thing you don't want the enemy to lose control is characters like Zerida 2.0, who is standing near you. So just imagine you make Zerida 2.0 lose control, who is standing 4 blocks away from you only. If she has not used her 3C, she'll just move to any available spots beside you and just cast her 3C against you. That's it. So that's by lose control. It's just you don't get to choose to use the skills on which enemy you want, but the AI of the characters itself will still cause it to use skills to spam it on any available units that they can attack. So yep, and a lot of fan is showing their what's that word? Oh, that is, sorry. Oh, it took me a while. Yep. Their great disappointment on Chaos Ham, so they are hoping that either Zilong will do some patches, or if not, the next thing we might need to wait for will be for the exclusive to come out. And FYI, if both Chaos Ham are of demon class, yes, there's high chance that the player 1 will get to cause the players to Chaos Ham to lose effect. So again, now in this meta, most players will be switching Chaos Ham to Flying class. And yep, that's it. We have come to the end. It's slightly long because I'm trying to give you guys the details and things that I've looked that happen in the current meta. So what did you guys think? Leave it down in the comment sections below, and we'll see you guys on the next part of the video featuring SP Bernard. This is Kami. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you.